Mr. Platano Man 1989 here. I am not dead. Um, it's just that my camera was acting up, like really giving me fucking shit problems and all that stuff. But I haven't stopped watching wrestling now, of course. I've been watching TNA and WWE, so let me just start this video with quick, thoughts on TNA iMPACT today, January 1st. Now, obviously, it was kind of they hyped it up as a year in review show, but it wasn't really a year in review show. It was just the best matches of 2008 in their opinion. Now, I don't know what to really talk about since I already seen all these matches. So, let me just give some thoughts. First of all, I personally love the Bound for Glory, Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle. While watching it, I was thinking, wow, this is like a match of the year because it had everything. The storytelling, the pacing, the legendary matchup, in my opinion. Everything. Everything was just right about the match. Now, as I started to watch this tonight, they had the little commentary on the side. And, although it was interesting, their input and stuff, it kind of hurt the match for people who haven't seen it at all. Now, for me, I already seen it, so it's a little interesting. But, I don't know, like, when this guy was setting up the belly-to-belly, it cuts to Jeff Jarrett, the belly-to-belly off the top of the turnbuckle, it cuts to Jeff Jarrett talking about it. And if I never saw the match, it will hurt the match. But that's why it is looking back at a match, so, I can't really complain there. It's, like I said, I like the input and all that stuff on the side, but for people that never saw the match, it does hurt it a little bit. Now, then we saw, I believe, Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle from Lockdown 2008. Now, this is a either you love it or hate it kind of match. Most people hated it. I personally loved it because it was booked differently, obviously, with the UFC stuff from all of their other matches. So it gave something different to their matches. The only thing that I didn't like about the match, because I had no problem with the UFC stuff in the beginning, but the only thing that I think hurt the match had to do with the submissions. There were points where some of the submissions are like for literally like 2 minutes straight. And you could have that in a match. That's fine. But then when they break out of it, you hear the crowd get excited. The crowd gets, something's going on, something's going to happen. And then they go into another 2-minute submission. So my only problem with the match was not the UFC-ness, not this, not that, not this. But just that some of the submission holds were too often and way too long. Way too long. So, but I love that match. I really fucking love that match. I think it was classic. The attires, the results, some of the moments like that fucking decapitation clothesline that Joe gave Kurt. He like flipped and landed on his neck. Like TNA has this real brutal, stiff like fighting style that they continue to showcase and all that, and I love that. Awesome Khan versus Gail Kim. Another great match. It's just funny because it's so early in the year, like so long ago, when the Knockouts division was like perfect. So it's just a little funny looking back at, like I forget that match even from 2008. So I don't know. And but it was a great match. Obviously, everybody looked strong, booked beautifully, and showed a lot of potential with the Knockouts division and all that stuff. But hey, what happens? Gil Kim's not even there anymore. Now, AJ Styles versus Sting from Turning Point, another match I loved. The ending is very weird with the Pele, and then he misses and he just does a roll up. Now, that is a weird ending for the main event of a pay-per-view, because then after that, you go home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're there live, you go home. So that's a weird last, it's not a weirdly booked ending, but for the ending of a pay-per-view, and I don't know, it was just weird, but I think it works. I actually like it. Sometimes some endings are just really overbooked and go crazy just because it's the ending. So I actually like it when people take risks and keep it simple. Now, what I could see coming from that is one day Sting and AJ have a rematch for the title at a future pay-per-view. Maybe Destination X against the Odds, Lockdown. I don't know, but that AJ action, you know how it will build up AJ hitting the Pele, because then when he does hit it, it's like he hits it this time, and then he does the um spiral tap, whatever he calls it, off the top, like whatever he does, the win should be after he hits the Pele, because it would just make it like, oh, he hits it this time, and blah 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 blah. And, AJ new champion. A lot of people were upset when this match first happened because AJ didn't go over, but if TNA, keeps the belt with Sting, obviously they have some plans for when he actually loses it. So I trust TNA, and I'll just be patient. Now the match that we got, l.a.x versus Beer Money, I actually thought that l.a.x would go over because they've been getting these rough cut segments and they got these title shots coming up, so it's like kind of a push for them. And also it's the only match tonight that is fresh and brand new. They were hyping it up, so I actually thought that they would go over, but hey, they didn't. But it was a very, it was a good match. You can't really ask for more from these two. You've seen them matched up a couple of times, and I'm real proud that they got the honor of having the first match, the first televised match of 2009. That's actually big, so clap for them, and they did a good job. Now, on other notes, what I think hurt this year in review is that they didn't have, like, how the Slammy Award showed individual clips of top moments in different categories, and like stuff like that. They didn't really have none of that. They just had that video package that we've been seeing on YouTube these last few days. At the end, they just had that video package. And something else that kind of hurt the year in review pay-per-view matches is that there was only a total of about 7 superstars involved. So I mean, 7 wrestlers involved. I think if you truly want to have like the best matches, you should mix it up and book it kind of like a pay-per-view, where the first match would be one of those matches that have everybody, and then the second match would be an important match but with some star power. The third match would be one that had a lot of wrestling ability, and the fourth one, all these matches were just singles matches, one-on-one, so it gets a little boring if you've already seen the matches to actually have to sit through 4 single matches in a row. I believe it was 4, I'm sorry. 4. So I think they should have had but something, I was going to say that they should have had Lethal Lockdown as the first match, because it's a fun match with a bunch of people in it, 10 different superstars and all that stuff, and a lot of people didn't see it and all that, but the truth is that it would kind of feel weird if they're trying to, keep the focus on Main Event Mafia and stuff like that. So, I don't know, maybe they did the right choice, but I just really think they should have had a different variety of matches with a different variety of superstars instead of just a limitation and just 4 straight single matches. But, hey, that's just my opinion. So on some quick notes before this video ends, I kind of felt that JBL would go over to face John Cena at the Royal Rumble, because the way they're building up this Shawn Michaels and JBL angle, it makes sense for JBL to go face John Cena. Also, you need people like Jericho, Shawn Michaels, and Randy Orton in the Royal Rumble. I feel that you need them because the JBL John Cena, that's really going to be the undercard. The Royal Rumble is the main event. So I would love to see Randy Orton RKOing a bunch of people, and those people competing in the Royal Rumble. Then them being locked up in the title match with John Cena, which they probably would lose anyways. Mr. Platano 1989, I'll try to make more videos. Sorry about that drought. Peace, y'all.